Jerusalem, a name that echoes through the corridors of time. More than just a city, it is a symbol of faith, a battleground of empires, and a cradle of civilizations. For Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, it holds sacred meaning. For history, it holds centuries of epic tales. In this video, we take you on a journey through time. Prophet Adam was the first human being and the father of all mankind. He had 3 sons, Habel, Kabul, and Shith. It is believed that from the lineage of Prophet Shith came many of the prophets and messengers. Among them, the 10th in line was Prophet Nuh. Prophet Nuh had 4 sons, Sam, Ham, Japheth, and Yam. After the Great Flood, 3 of them, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, spread out to different regions to repopulate the earth. It is widely believed that the descendants of Sam settled in the Middle East, especially around Jerusalem and its surrounding areas. And this is where the history of Jerusalem begins. From this very lineage, Prophet Ibrahim was born, although his birthplace was in Iraq. He had 2 wives, Hajar and Sarah. Through Hajar, he had a son, Prophet Ismail. At the command of Allah, Prophet Ibrahim brought Hajar and Ismail to the barren land of Makkah, where a new chapter of divine history would begin. After that, no prophet or messenger was born in this lineage for a long time. However, the final and greatest prophet and messenger, Prophet Muhammad, was born from this very lineage. Then, following the command of Allah, Prophet Ibrahim and his wife Sarah left their homeland of Iraq and set out on a journey of migration. Their path took them through the lands of Sham, what we now know as Syria and Palestine, until they finally arrived in the sacred city of Jerusalem. Prophet Ibrahim and Sarah had a son named Prophet Ishaq, known as Isaac in Jewish and Christian traditions. Ishaq had a son named Yaqub, who was also known by another name, Israel. That is why his descendants are called Bani Israel, or the children of Israel. Prophet Yaqub had 12 sons, and among them was a prophet, Prophet Yusuf, known as Joseph in Jewish and Christian traditions. Due to the conspiracy of his brothers, Yusuf was taken to Egypt. Yet, even in the midst of hardship, by the mercy of Allah, he rose to a position of great honor in the royal court of Egypt, and thus began a new chapter in the life of Prophet Yusuf. Later, Prophet Yusuf forgave his brothers with a heart full of compassion. He then brought his entire family to Egypt. As his family settled there, their descendants began to grow in number. Over time, this growing community came to be known as Bani Israel, the children of Israel. Among the 12 sons of Prophet Yaqub was Yehuda, or Judah. Over time, it was the descendants of Yehuda who came to be known as the Jews. And thus, the roots of the Jewish nation were established in the pages of history. In the beginning, the Bani Israel lived in Egypt with honor. They were treated with dignity and lived in peace. But over time, the pharaohs of Egypt enslaved them and forced them into hard labor. As the oppression of the pharaohs reached its peak, Allah sent Prophet Musa, who was born in the tribe of Levi, as a messenger to liberate the Bani Israel from their suffering. Prophet Musa called upon Pharaoh to free the Bani Israel, but Pharaoh refused. Then, by the command of Allah, Prophet Musa led the Bani Israel out of Egypt. They crossed the Red Sea and journeyed toward Jerusalem. When Pharaoh and his army pursued the Bani Israel, they were drowned in the Red Sea and met their end there. Afterward, by the command of Allah, Prophet Musa invited the Bani Israel to enter the Holy Land of Palestine. However, a group among them became fearful and refused to go in. As a consequence of their disobedience, Allah condemned them to wander in the desert for 40 years. During this long period of exile, Prophet Musa passed away. Eventually, the Bani Israel realized their mistake and sought forgiveness from Allah. Allah accepted their repentance and appointed Prophet Yusha as their new leader. Yusha was a loyal companion of Prophet Musa, and after Musa's passing, he took over the leadership of Bani Israel. By the command of Allah, Prophet Yusha led them into the land of Palestine. During a historic battle, Allah held back the setting of the sun, allowing them to achieve a complete and decisive victory. After a long period of leadership, the passing of Prophet Yusha marked the end of Bani Israel's first golden era. Over time, they once again fell into hardship and disarray. In their moment of despair, Allah sent Prophet Samuel to guide them. Through Prophet Samuel, Allah appointed Talut as king over Bani Israel. At that time, the powerful ruler of Jerusalem was Jalut, Goliath. Under the leadership of Talut, Bani Israel went to war against Jalut. With Allah's help, they defeated Jalut's forces and re-established their authority over the Holy Land. Among King Talut's commanders was Prophet Dawood. In that legendary battle, it was Dawood who struck down and killed Jalut, Goliath. As a reward for his bravery and faith, Allah granted him both prophethood and kingship. Later, his noble son, Prophet Sulaiman, ascended the throne of Bani Israel. Prophet Sulaiman ruled with divine wisdom and unparalleled authority. His command extended over humans, jinn, and even the animals and birds. During his majestic reign, the first temple was built in Jerusalem, serving as a sacred center for the Bani Israel. After the death of Prophet Sulaiman, his son Rehoboam ascended to the throne. However, his harsh policies and decision to increase taxes sparked widespread dissatisfaction among the people. As a result, the kingdom was divided into two distinct parts. The 10 northern tribes of Bani Israel broke away to form the independent Kingdom of Israel. Meanwhile, Rehoboam maintained control over the southern region, which became known as the Kingdom of Judah, with Jerusalem as its capital. Over time, the 10 tribes of the northern Kingdom of Israel gradually lost their religious traditions, cultural identity, and sense of unity. In this weakened state, the Assyrian Empire launched a powerful invasion in 722 BCE, completely conquering the kingdom. Most of its inhabitants were exiled and scattered across various regions. And with that dispersion, the identity of these 10 tribes began to fade from history. They came to be known as the Lost 10 Tribes, a mysterious legacy, the true fate of whom remains debated and largely unknown to this day. Then, around 587 BCE, the king of Babylon, modern-day Iraq, Nebuchadnezzar, attacked Jerusalem, destroyed the city, and took the Bani Israel and captive to Babylon. At that time, the first temple in the city was also destroyed. Later, the mighty Persian Empire rose to power, and under the leadership of King Cyrus the Great of Iran, Babylon, modern-day Iraq, was conquered and brought under Persian control. In a remarkable act of tolerance and justice, King Cyrus issued a decree freeing the children of Israel from their long captivity. He allowed them to return to their homeland in Jerusalem and even supported the reconstruction of their sacred temple. This moment marked not only a turning point in Jewish history, but also highlighted Cyrus's legacy as a liberator and visionary ruler. In 334 BCE, Alexander the Great set out on his legendary campaign and succeeded in conquering the vast Persian Empire. As a result, Jerusalem too came under his dominion. Although he was one of history's most remarkable military leaders, Alexander's reign was brief. He died young from a sudden and mysterious illness. Following his untimely death, his vast empire was divided among his generals, and Jerusalem remained under the control of his successors, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the city's complex and often turbulent history. In 63 BCE, the Romans conquered Jerusalem, and under their rule, the Second Temple was ultimately destroyed. It was during this period of Roman dominance that the prophet Isha, or Jesus, was born. However, many among the children of Israel rejected his message and conspired against him. Yet, by the will of Allah, they were unable to harm him, as he was raised up to the heavens in protection. And from this point onward, two distinct nations emerged. One group accepted Prophet Isha, or Jesus, and became known as the Christians, while the other group rejected him and remained the Jewish. This division marked a significant turning point in the religious and historical development. In the 7th century, Jerusalem fell to the Muslims when Islam's second caliph, Umar alayhi salam, conquered the city. During his rule, the Muslims established peaceful governance over Jerusalem and ensured religious freedom for both Jews and Christians. However, in 1099, the First Crusade took place, a religious war between Christians and Muslims. In this conflict, the Christians captured Jerusalem and carried out brutal persecution against the Muslims, resulting in the massacre of countless Muslim inhabitants. 88 years later, on October 2nd, 1187, the Muslim leader Salahuddin Ayyubi recaptured Jerusalem. However, he did not commit any kind of persecution or oppression against the Christians. Rather, after gaining control of the city, he peacefully ensured the religious freedom and safety of the Christians. However, due to internal conflicts among the Muslims and renewed strategies by the Crusaders, the city once again came under threat. During this time, divisions began to emerge within the Muslim ranks. Power struggles were ongoing between the Ayyubid ruler Al-Saleh Ayyub and other Muslim leaders. The European Crusaders took advantage of this weakness. The Crusaders, especially the Knights Templar and other Christian forces, exploited Egypt's political crisis and the Muslims' preoccupation with internal affairs. 1243, they launched an attack and managed to capture Jerusalem. But their occupation was short-lived. Within just 1 year, the city was taken back. In 1244, the Khwarezmian Turks, with the support of the Ayyubid rulers of Egypt, recaptured Jerusalem. As a result, Christian control over the city lasted only for a single year. The Christians were driven out and the Muslims once again regained control of Jerusalem. After the death of Sultan As-Salih Ayyub in 1250, the Ayyubid dynasty weakened. His son Turan Shah was soon killed by the powerful Mamluk soldiers who had been slave soldiers serving the Ayyubids. And the Mamluks became the new rulers of Jerusalem. In 1517, Ottoman Sultan Selim defeated the Mamluks and took control of Jerusalem. This marked the beginning of nearly 400 years of Ottoman rule over Jerusalem and Palestine. The Ottoman rulers ensured religious coexistence, allowing Muslims, Christians, and Jews to live together in Jerusalem, something that had been very difficult in earlier times. After that, Jews began facing various forms of persecution in Europe and America. In response to these circumstances, they started promoting the ideology of Zionism, which called for the establishment of a separate state for the Jewish people. Theodor Herzl was the founder of the Zionist movement. According to him, it was essential to create a new homeland for the Jews, and they desired that this homeland be established in Palestine. Later, during the reign of Ottoman Sultan Abdul Hamid II, Theodor Herzl approached him with a proposal to establish a Jewish state in Palestine. However, Sultan Abdul Hamid firmly rejected the proposal. In 1917, during World War I, British forces captured Jerusalem. This marked the end of 400 years of Ottoman rule, which came to a close at the hands of the British, French, and Arab forces. After the war, the British governed Jerusalem from 1918 to 1948. Although they initially promised to hand over the region to the Arabs, they eventually took control themselves and began ruling the area directly. At that time, there was no state called Israel. The entire region was known as Palestine. With the beginning of British rule, a new chapter of governance started in Jerusalem. On July 8, 1948, the British withdrew from Palestine. However, before leaving, they divided the territory into two separate states, allocating 55% of the land to Israel, 43% to Palestine, and designating the remaining 2%, including Jerusalem, as a neutral zone to be placed under United Nations administration. However, the people of Palestine could not accept this division, as the entire region had been their homeland until the night before, and suddenly, much of it was handed over to others. The Arab world also rejected this partition, which led the region toward even greater conflict. Shortly after the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, the First Arab-Israeli War broke out, in which Israel emerged victorious. After the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, West Jerusalem was captured by Israel and became part of its territory. East Jerusalem, including the Old City, was taken by Jordan and remained under Jordanian control. And in the 1967 Six-Day War, Israel launched an attack and captured West Jerusalem along with East Jerusalem. For the first time, the entire city of Jerusalem came under Israeli control. The entire city of Jerusalem is still under Israeli occupation. The Palestinian people have fought for generations to protect their homeland. Despite countless challenges, their resistance has never stopped. This struggle for justice and freedom continues to this day.